G'day everybody, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm off to a gig at a winery at a little country town pretty close to where I live. It's only about 40 minutes drive away. But today I'm going to do something different, and I'm going to try and... I've been interested in doing this for a long time, and that is doing a solar powered carbon neutral gig, and I think it's a really interesting concept. And today I'm going to show you how I've done it, and hopefully if you're interested in this sort of thing you'll be able to do it too. So I'm going to show you my setup, and I'm going to show you how I did it, and hopefully you find it interesting and helpful if that's the sort of thing you're into, and we can go on our little solar powered journey together. So hang in there and I'll show you how I did it. Coming into Maffra now. That's the McAllister pub, the Mac pub. Played heaps of gigs in there. That is the Maffra Backpackers in there. Played heaps of gigs in there. And there's the sporting club over there. Played heaps of gigs in the sporting club as well. This is it, just down the end of the path. This is my gig at this is the back of the winery, and should be a good cruisy Sunday gig. I can't believe I'm going to try and do this whole thing on battery power and charged up by the sun. So hopefully it works out good. I guess we'll soon find out. I'll let you know how we went. Alright, this is my trusty old workbench, and this is my setup. This is how I've done it. It's my dog barking at the postie as he goes past. So this is a 12 volt 40 amp hour battery I picked up. It was about $100 brand new Australian, $100 Australian. So I use a 200 watt solar panel that I got from a local camping store. It cost about $150. So I've used the solar panel to charge this up. Alright, so it's really windy out here, so hopefully you can hear me okay because I don't have a microphone on. But this is the solar panel, it's 200 watts. Right, so the solar panel has this little regulator here. It just connects via this little cable here, which goes into this cable here, and then goes over to the battery and charges it up. It's that simple. So this took about, when I first plugged it in, it was down to 10.5 volts. It took about 2 hours to charge the battery up to full. Then once this is full, I've used this 150 watt inverter, which just clips onto it with these alligator clips. Whoop. So then that gives me 150 watts at 240 volts, which is what we use here in Australia. And I used this to charge up my Bose S1, which has its own internal battery. Right, this is the back of the Bose S1, and when you put it onto battery mode, it gives you 1 flash for 25%, 2 for 50, 3 for 75, and 4 flashes for 100%. So I've used this for a full 3-hour gig. Bose say it will run between 12 and 16 hours. I've used this for a full 3-hour gig, and including music for when I'm taking a break from the iPad. And it's still saying it's at 100%, so that's also super duper impressive. Well done, Bose. So sun into solar panel, into battery, into inverter, and I charged up my Bose PA system with this. Then after that, I used the solar panel to charge up this battery again, even though it didn't need it. I still just let it charge up again for about, I don't know, another hour after that. And then I took this setup in this tub to run my pedal board, and it ran it beautifully. Right, this is my pedal board that I've been taking to gigs at the moment. Now, it's got the HX Stomp on it, and it is very heavy on juice. but only really at startup, and I use the harmonizer a lot as well. It's also reasonably heavy on the juice. Everything else, especially the Morningstar and the Protein, which I don't use at acoustic gigs anyway, but they draw next to no current. Underneath is the Strymon Zoomer. That's what I'm using to power everything, with a current doubler for the HX Stomp. That's the only way you can run it from the Strymon Zoomer. But it's really quiet, it's really efficient, and it does a really good job of regulating your power apparently from batteries and inverters. So it's done a kick-ass job. So this has actually come from the gig. I haven't charged this back up yet, so we're about to find out together how much is actually left in it. It's still almost 13 volts. So I've used the pedal board for 3 hours, and it's barely even touched the amount of electricity that was in here. So that was really awesome. So that's my setup. Now, at this point of the video, I think it's only fair that I tell you about one issue that I did have, and that was with the 150 watt inverter, which only cost 50 or 60 bucks. It was only a cheap one. When I powered up the whole pedal board all at the same time, it clipped the 150 watt inverter out and shut it down. So the way I got around that was I unplugged the HX Stomp and I powered up the whole pedal board. And then after all the other pedals had switched on and booted up, then I plugged in the HX Stomp, and there was enough current for everything to boot up. So 99% of pedals will draw the maximum amount of current that they're ever going to draw when they're booting up. The rest of the time they don't draw much current at all, especially the HX Stomp. There's a big difference between the current draw on boot up and the current draw just in general operation, which was, I had to actually Google that to learn that. But anyway, so that was one problem. Now the way I can get around this is by spending $100 and buying the 300 watt inverter or the 600 watt inverter, and then that will also allow me, if the battery in the PA system, in the Bose S1 PA system, if that ever goes flat, 600 watts will give me enough power to run it off the battery as well. So that'll be the next test for me, is to see how long I can run my pedal board and the Bose off the battery without using the internal battery in the S1. So that'll be my next test. But I really hope you found this helpful. I think it's you know, if you're environmentally minded, or even if you just wanted a gimmick or something like that, if you're really interested in being able to be completely carbon neutral and completely solar powered at your gigs, hopefully this has helped you start your journey towards being completely off grid for all your music. I think it's a really interesting concept, and I think it's a really fun way to be environmentally friendly and make fun, beautiful music at the same time. So if you've got this far through the video, thank you so much for watching all the way through. Give us a thumbs up and a like, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out a lot. And I will do an update of this video later on after I've gigged this system a few more times, and I'll let you all know how it's going. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time, and bye.